Now, moving to this, we're just a few hours away now from President Biden's State of the Union speech.
This will be his second address since taking office, but it is his first before a Republican-controlled House. The speech is expected to set the tone for Mr. Biden's next year in office, and it could also set the stage for the potential announcement of his 2024 re-election campaign.
That's right. And on that point, he has yet to officially disclose whether he will launch another presidential bid. The safe money bets he will. Mr. Biden has recovered some of his popularity with the American people since last June. You see his approval rating there had some highs of 61%, but heading into tonight's address, his approval rating is around 45%.
CBS News Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett joins us now. Major, welcome. You have covered a lot of these speeches in the past. What does President Biden really need to do in this year's State of the Union address?
Well, no one's counting, but my first State of the Union address as a reporter here in Washington, 1990, long time ago. So one or a few of these I've covered. So there's always a context behind a president's State of the Union address. And I would say the context behind President Biden's is, are you feeling it? That's not a Beltway term. It's an American term. Are you feeling it? And on the economy, our polling data and others suggest the country still isn't, which means there is lots of economic data the president will talk about tonight. 517,000 jobs created in the month of January, lowest unemployment rate since 1969. Wages up, but still lagging behind inflation. But the president will make a case that on the whole, the U.S. economy is not only in a good position, it's in a better position than people would have guessed a year ago. But still, Americans are not feeling that. Is that a catastrophic problem for this White House? No, but it is a problem. Is there a ray of sunshine somewhere in the other polling data? Yes, there is. Where is it? There's much better appraisals for the country now of the president's handling of COVID than there was a year ago. What does that tell us? That when things get better and stay better for a lengthy period of time, eventually public opinion catches up with the data. And that's what the White House hopes, that the economic data remains solid now, that there's not a recession, that there is a soft landing in the economy, and that all of this good economic data the president will talk about tonight that the country doesn't yet feel will become more clear and more to his political benefit next year, which is the crucial year because, as you indicated, this speech will be a preview of the president's message for a re-election campaign that is all but certain. How do we know that? Well, his chief of staff, before he left the White House last week, Ron Klain, said he would be there for the re-election campaign. That's a pretty good signal. And what happened over the weekend? The Democratic National Committee approved a primary calendar dictated by President Biden to put South Carolina first. That suggests the DNC believes he's going to run for re-election. The president wants the most favorable calendar to run for re-election. All the signs are there.
I can predict, likely the president will keep hitting the low unemployment numbers, the historically low numbers. He's going to characterize himself as the best steward of the economy. But as you know, Major, with each of these State of the Union addresses, there's what the president wants to speak about and perhaps controversies and wild cards that are less in their control right now. President Biden dealing with this surveillance balloon from China. There was a delay in bringing it down. We have the classified documents controversy as well. How is the president being received in Washington on those points ahead of tonight's remarks?
Well, one thing that's interesting about the classified documents, that story has receded with all of the attention on the Chinese surveillance balloon. And look, the administration is in a position to tell its story. The president decided what to do and can explain to the country now. Here's why I decided to wait. We waited because we had closed everything down. There wasn't anything that they could surveil that they could get because we had changed our habits on the ground over all the sensitive military air bases. So we got to watch this surveillance balloon. That's the story the administration is telling. Tell it in more detail. Be transparent. Maybe disclose a few more facts tonight in the State of the Union address. You're never going to have a larger audience in the next couple of months than you will tonight. So if the White House has a story to tell, tonight's the night to begin doing that. And then also promise to be transparent with Congress. Lots of Republicans and Democrats want to know the whys and the wherefores. What are we going to learn from the surveillance balloon now that it's in our custody and we're fishing it out of the depths of the ocean right off South Carolina? Not that deep, fortunately, 47 feet, so easy to get to. And the administration can really be the steward of this story. It knows everything. And the more it tells, the more persuasive its rationale may become. But it has, for the moment at least, sort of taken the whole classified documents thing off the front page and made this much more front and center. And since it is front and center, you can bet the president will address it in some detail tonight.
All right, approaching his 23rd State of the Union address. Great to have
Major Garrett,
Major
we're always
Garrett
feeling you.
joining us. I mean, I don't think they give you pins, but you've got all your press badges all on the wall. Thanks,
You've
Major.
earned it.
See you later
Thank you,
tonight.
guys. Thank you. See you.